Billy Porter here, actor, activist, fashion icon, if you will. And December 3rd is Giving Tuesday.
I would just love to hear, in your words, if you could tell me a little bit about what Giving Tuesday is, kind of where it came from and what its goals are.
Yeah, sure. So PayPal has been involved with Giving Tuesday since about 2012. And it initially started on a single day. They have now expanded that through the entire giving season, giving holiday season. And I also know that it's a springboard to sort of trying to inspire people to give all the time, to have the spirit of giving inside of us at all times, because nobody can make it through this life alone. And when we give back and when we pay it forward, we actually receive wonderful, wonderful things. I just know that we're in the middle of the season, of giving season. It's sort of the launch to this whole holiday, Christmas giving situation. So I know that that's a time when hearts are open and when people are emotionally and spiritually able to receive this kind of messaging and sort of apply it to their lives. PayPal called and asked me to be involved. And, you know, as a person who grew up in the church, you know, the spirit of giving has been instilled in me from the moment that I could comprehend thought. So I don't know anything different. You know, it's sort of second nature to me. So it just seemed like an amazing fit. There are many different ways of contributing. You know, obviously, the traditional way of giving money, that's easy to do for those of us who have it. PayPal will match 10% for every dollar you give. But there are also alternative ways. You know, one of which is volunteering. You know, volunteering in any way, whether you volunteer at a food bank or whether you know, volunteer to help, you know, nurture a child, you know, be a big brother or something of that sort. You know, them clothes that we all have in our closets that we don't wear anymore. You know, the ones that we think we're gonna get back down to that size so I can fit in that dress. You know, you ain't gonna fit into that dress. It's been a decade. Donate some of them clothes. Now, the new thing for me that I just learned through PayPal is the idea of patronizing small businesses and how that also is a way of giving back to the community. So there are many, many, many different ways that we can give. I've donated 4 trash bags full of clothes.
And that is some great stylish stuff too.
It is some stylish stuff. You know, I do take it to Housing Works, and they do hang it on the rack, and I see people wearing it later.
You've really turned it out on red carpets, and I think that especially with the success of Pose, you've been kind of big spotlight on you lately, and I think, you know, you taking your time in the spotlight to do things like this is really, really special. Why has that been important to you to kind of take this time when attention is on you to turn it towards?
It's in my DNA. You know, I came out in 1985, and we went straight to the front lines to fight for our lives. There was nothing else that we had. We had to fight. We had to get in the streets and we had to fight. So, you know, my sort of entrance to activism was natural. My work as an artist has always been centered around that service, like how, as a show business person, you know, can you be of service? And I realized and discovered that that's sort of standing in the fullness of my authenticity. And
it's part of who you are. Definitely. Just around the corner, it was recently announced that you'll be hosting New Year's Rockin' Eve out of New Orleans. And I wondered what we can expect from that.
Well, I'm not sure yet. We're just putting the show together right now. I know that Usher and, oh goodness, Sheryl Crow are going to be doing concerts, mini concerts. I'm singing my little ditty from this past year that went, Love Yourself, that went #1 on the Billboard charts. So, you know, that part I know. I don't know much else. I just know that Ryan Seacrest called and I answered.
How can we live our lives more like Billy Porter in 2020?
You know, I don't know if you want to live your life more like me, but if I had anything to say to that, I would just land on truth, land on authenticity, land on doing and being all the things that you want to be, period. No matter what anybody else has to say. It's time to give 0 Fs about what the outside forces say to you, about you, whatever. Let it go. This moment requires wings. Because the bitch needs to take off and fly.